Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here on November 3rd. Let's jump right into these charts and see what kicked off week 44. As always, got our December live cattle on the board to start us off. Today we did see a fairly quiet day in the cattle market, both feeders and fats trading in some tight ranges. However, we did see the buyers coming in and starting the week on the right foot here. Nice little pushback today following the week finish on Friday, which was a good first sign of life from the bulls. At the moment here, we are seeing some equal highs all getting printed here right around this 232.35 area, which was today's high. Thursday, Friday, and today's high all lining up in the area is offering a good little springboard here. Good little breakout point for the bulls as we move into the rest of the week. Today's action, we did see some pressure being put up on Friday's high and a heavy concentration of volume getting built up here in the 232 area. At the moment, this is a pretty good sign for the bulls as we move into the rest of the week, offering a good little breakout point here. Early bids tomorrow above today's high should get the ball rolling higher and see this market retest this 234 area, which was our last week's high. Above that, we could see this market try and attack some of these moving averages and potentially this 236.5 level, which has been a key spot dating back to August of the year. A pretty important level we traded around for a few weeks in the late part of the summer and into September. That should be the next step here. If we do get some bids above today's high and 234, look for that market to start heading up there towards 236.5. We should see some resistance start to step in with these moving averages in the area. Lots of overhead supply to chew through here. This isn't going to be an easy climb out of here for the bulls, but we are definitely seeing the first signs of life here and potential breakout points and some spots to trade around at least. So offering a good spot and potential for the bulls to try and fight back following this big breakdown we've had over the last couple of weeks. Look for the bulls to try and get some early bids above today's high and start attacking some of these levels. If we are able to chew through some of those spots and get some closes above these major moving averages, we could see the bulls try and turn this thing around and get this uptrend back on track. In the meantime, a defensive approach here is encouraged if we do continue trading back inside Friday's range and below. Encourage everyone to remain defensive in that situation as the volatility will stick around. But if we do start to break out above some of these levels, we could see a little bit of upside here throughout the rest of the week in this cattle market. Let's jump over here and take a look at the feeders now. January feeders up. We did see similar action today with the buyers stepping in and pushing back up there towards Friday's high. We did see this market briefly poke above it, getting close to Thursday's high. Similar story over here though. Nice little action here as this market is building up some pressure here around this 337 to 338 area. Over the last few days, those are kind of some equal highs in the area. Heavy concentration of volume getting built up here with today's point of control coming in at 336.40. Early bids above today's high, right around the 337.5 mark, should see this market try and attack this bull pivot here at 340.5, which was the prior week's high here. We should see this market attack that area. If we do get some traction above that, look for it to spring up here towards 348. This limit down day we had back here on the 24th of October is going to be the next spot. Have a lot of supply left over in this area from that limit down day and getting locked there, so this market should try and backfill some of that supply. That 348 will be the next step up from there. We do continue to see some wide ranges. Today's action was a little bit tighter, but volatility still remains elevated, so we could see some pretty wild swings in both directions here in this feeder market. If they're able to chew through this gap and head up here towards 348, this feeder market needs to reclaim these moving averages and form a little bit more structure here before we can talk of continuing that uptrend. But we are definitely seeing some signs of life here from the buyers as well. Look for bids above today's high in both feeder and fat markets to take this market up here towards those prior week highs and try and get the bulls started on a potential recovery here. So in the meantime though, if we do continue to trade back down here into Friday's range, I encourage everyone to remain defensive. Next up, December corn futures on the board. Last week we did see a nice little breakout there above these range highs at 430. Reload action on Friday, offering a good little buyer starting point for the buyers this week. And that's exactly what we saw. Today we did see the opening range push down inside Friday's range, but a good recovery there and seeing a nice strong finish by the bulls here in this corn market, climbing up there towards 435, finishing the day above that bull pivot. At the moment, this says all systems go for the bulls. Look for the buyers to keep on pushing this market up here towards 4.5. This uptrend looks like it's starting to unfold nicely here. Look for the bulls to keep on grinding this market up towards the mid $4 range. Next up, crude oil prices opening pretty quietly here today. This market continuing to trade below the 50-day moving average, but bouncing off of that 20-day today. Last week we did see a nice little breakdown off the 50, but just couldn't quite get much traction down there below 60 bucks. This market rallying up here and seeing a little bit of rejection here today near that 50-day moving average. We want to see the bears continue to fight back in the area with these declining moving averages. We want to see them continue to push down below today's low as well. However, the bears do definitely have a little bit of a battle on their hands in this area. We need to get some closes down here below that prior week's low to get this market rolling back down into the mid 50s. Bears still remain in control for now. We could see a continued choppy action here in the low 60s as we trade inside that prior week's range. Look for a close above or below the prior week's high and low to confirm the next leg from here. In the meantime, we could see some choppy action here around the moving averages. Equity markets with a pretty quiet day. The S&P futures trading inside Friday's range. Not a whole lot of action here to be traded around. This market hanging out here in between the pivot points here as well. At the moment, the uptrend still remains strong and intact. We expect to see the bulls rally from here and get some early bids above 69.18 throughout the rest of the week and get this market climbing up there towards the 7,000s. However, if we do get a breakdown below today's low and that bear pivot right around 68.40, we could see this market get marked down here into these moving averages, but we do expect to see dips be good buying opportunities. Look for the buyers to step in and offer good support here anywhere in these major moving averages. This uptrend remains intact, and we expect to see prices continue to climb here into year end. The environment still remains very healthy, very strong time for stocks at the moment. We expect to see higher prices into the end of the year. That's all we got for this evening. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.